All right, I have been getting a ton of requests for more easy breakfast ideas. But what I love about this recipe is you could probably have it at breakfast, lunch, dinner. It would taste good right out of the oven, maybe just at room temperature. So if you want to make it for like a brunch or like a picnic lunch, and I think kids are gonna love this one too. And I'll show you how you can easily change up the ingredients to make it work better for yourself, for your family, for your mood with food, all that good stuff. But it just starts out with a couple staple ingredients that a lot of us might have on hand anyway. Maybe need to grab like 3 extra ingredients because you know my motto, prep ingredients, turn it into meals. So I just kind of made this recipe up into a meal that I thought you would all love, that I think the boys will love, I think Paul will love. So I just kind of looked at what was in the fridge and then what I might want to add a little, Angie spin to. So on today's episode, I am making a turkey pepperoni crescent pie. So if you missed my episode last year, I did a zucchini Roma tomato crescent pie and people loved this recipe. And it was a great way to use those summer zucchini or summer tomatoes. And who doesn't love buttery crescent rolls, especially kids? So it was a great way to kind of mix vegetables with crescent rolls and then add a little protein with the egg whites. So I'm doing a spin on that exact same recipe, and I'll link that video here so you can go grab that recipe, see that video, but I'm just changing it up ever so slightly to make it more of a pizza flair. So let me show you how I made this super easy turkey pepperoni pizza pie. Okay, so I started out with a 9-inch glass pie dish so it doesn't stick. I did forget to use cooking spray, so maybe I would recommend doing that, but I think the crescent rolls should have enough butter in them that they shouldn't stick, but probably, we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so start by opening the can of the crescent rolls and then tear apart the 8 triangles. Unless you buy the sheet, then you could just have one sheet. And then put the smallest part of the triangle towards the center. And then just kind of press along the bottom and around the sides until it's fully covered. And then you start adding in your mix-ins. So you could saute your vegetables if you want. You can leave the vegetables out if your kids are like, I will not eat that if I see that in there. But today I did a mix of green bell pepper, little champagne like sweet tomatoes, and those baby Bella mushrooms. I just feel like they have a little bit more of like a nice hearty texture. They taste a little more meat-like. And I did not saute them. I'm just gonna throw them in raw and see what happens. I feel like between mushrooms and tomatoes, they should get pretty tender in the oven. So layered that down next. Then I mixed up 475 grams of egg whites. Why that much? I don't know. I just wanted it to fill the top of the actual pie shell. And I added in all of your pizza spices. So I did a little bit of Italian seasoning, some oregano, basil, kosher salt, black pepper, and then I love red pepper flakes, so I finished that off into the mix, whisked that up, and then I poured it over the vegetables. Then I did the cheese on top. You could mix your cheese right in your egg whites, but I feel like then it never evenly spreads when I'm making like a quiche or some type of casserole. So I save it for the end. And then I did a serving of shredded mozzarella cheese, some Parmesan cheese on top of that, and then finished with my turkey pepperoni. So it can be a pepperoni pizza. So ideally, the boys will see the pepperonis at the top, and that's what they'll want. We'll see. I'll give it a whirl when they get home from daycare and see if they'll eat it. They usually like to eat what mommy eats and daddy eats, like mommy chicken, daddy pork. So I'm gonna tell them mommy's having mommy pizza, mommy way, and they'll probably give it a whirl. And then I covered a sheet pan with foil. Easy cleanup. So if those egg whites spill over, I don't have to clean up the oven. So then I put my pan right on it, my pie dish, put it in the oven at 375. And then I'm starting at 20 minutes. Basically, I'm just looking for the egg whites to be set. So I'll kind of check it out. I'll do like the little zhuzh and see if it's still moving on the top. If it needs more time, I'll bump it up to 25 minutes. And then I'm gonna enjoy this for lunch today with a little side salad with Bolt House ranch, because I feel like a ranch garden salad and pizza is exactly what I love when I am out at a pizzeria. So that's what I'm gonna have for lunch. Oh, the numbers. If you are someone who is counting your macros, if you're just curious what the carbs, fat, and protein is, where it fell with my ingredients, and you can tweak the ingredients, right? You can take out some of the veggies, you can use fat-free cheese, you can use regular pepperoni. It'll just change the number slightly, but for one serving of an 8-serving pie, it was 5 grams fat, 15 carb, and 12 protein, and that would be 160 calories. I mean, if you go look up like regular quiche, and the pie shell really isn't where most of the calories come from in regular quiche. It is all of the full eggs, so a little bit more calorie and fat from the yolk. Nothing wrong with that, just changes the calorie amount, and it's pretty much always a cup of heavy whipping cream, and that's a lot of the calories. So I didn't add any milk into this mixture, and I did all egg whites, and I'm getting a little bit of fat from the cheese and the pepperoni. So we'll see how it turns out. But that's what we're working with. Okay, I'll show you it when it comes out. I forgot to mention, I am loving this OXO, you probably can't see it on the label, brand of pie plates. As you know, I am a big Greek yogurt cheesecake fan over here. I make it all the time. But I love when I don't have to move my recipe over to a different dish for storage. And this one has this like perfect lid. So then you can also stack things on top of it. You know, like if you keep your pie in a pie dish and you just cover it like saran wrap or foil, and then like you can't put anything on top of it. So if you are big into using pie dishes, like I am, this one with the lid that fits right on it is key. And then speaking of when I actually do serve it and have it today, how do I know the serving size? I weighed the food as I went, and so I'm just going to guesstimate and visually cut it into 8 wedges to know what to serve myself. If you're trying to get real particular, you'd actually want to measure out the weight of the pan first and then add your ingredients and deduct it. Then you would know how to pull it out. You know what? That sounds too confusing. Just cut it in 8 and you'll be good to go, and you'll enjoy this yummy pizza pie. Okay, got back from my walk, and it's time to sample it. Doesn't that look good? So you can see all the different layers of the bell peppers, the mushrooms, you can see the pepperoni on top. Now, this ended up taking me about 35 minutes to cook, and I had said 20 or 25. But remember, I just kept dumping the egg whites. And so once it came out, I did let it sit and cool off completely while I was out on my walk, so I could see how well it turned out, and it looks good. And then here is the finished product. See that? Yummy. So let's give it a taste test. But yeah, this is already room temperature, so I'll see how it tastes. Probably be just as good when you warm it up. All right, there's a nice little bite there. Okay. That's good. Tastes like pizza. And the bell pepper and the mushroom are still like a little crunchy. They're definitely done, but if you want them more tender, I would saute those before. But yeah, that's good with the little Italian seasoning, the pepperoni, the little addition of the cheese. I mean, you taste the egg white, but honestly, it just tastes like a yummy crescent pizza pie. Yeah, the boys are gonna like that. Okay, give it a try. Okay, so that's a wrap on today's episode. I will drop the ingredients below and how I made this quick and easy recipe. And if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to let me know in the comments. If you want to see future episodes focusing on food, fitness, fun, and mindset, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.